Namaste. Welcome and greetings. I am Magick. It's gonna stop a virus. No. This
Got y'all listening now. Some witchcraft for that ass. Too late to turn away. Abracadabra and all that good shit. Yo. Hocus pocus, got you focused on my rhyme. Simply easy, now I'm eating couch potatoes, I recline. No, I'm joking as I'm toking power puffs and pokey yokes. Till my town and villa filled with ganja smoke, you know the dough. Coming out my pipes, talking about the bones in my throat. With the mic, I'm casting curses every night, you know the scope. Got my spells handy, you may call it the phone. But when I'm done reciting, you'll give me the keys to the throne. Then I take my keys to go home. Didn't say I was done, while rush to end it all. It feels amazing to have won. I'm not planning to ball, but why not take the chance to stunt? No, I don't need it all, can think the thing I don't want. Do I worship the sun, or sold my soul for the tongue? Or dead since I was young, or got some voodoo done?
Namaste, namastizzle, peace and blessings. I hope y'all are having a great spring break. For me, I'm glad it's over. There has been way too many people outside. Forgive me. I am the one and only Magick LaCroix. And yeah, spring break. As I said in previous lives, there hasn't been much of a winter here in Texas. It's pretty much over with. So the weather has gotten nice here again. It's in the 90s today. Yeah, it's 90 degrees right now. And so everybody's outside. Everywhere you go, everybody's outside. I'm not complaining. I'm just not a people person. So I'm just glad it's over with. You know what I mean? The fatigue is still there when it comes to Negroes. Before I even get started, rest in peace, rise in power. Chuck Norris has passed away. Here he's 86 years old. He was beloved by many. I wasn't one of them. Okay. I thought he was lame. Honestly, I'm not going to talk about him, but I was not a fan of his, but still he was beloved by many. So rest in peace to him. All right. Spring break. So where do I even begin with this? But we are acting an ass, man. We are acting an ass everywhere. You know, I would say that nowadays it's way more recorded than it ever has been, but we are just not going anywhere and acting right. We can no longer put this at the feet of white people or the white man or whoever. You know what I'm saying? This is all us. And it's gotten to ridiculous levels now. Spring break, there was a big fight during spring break in Florida. There's a big fight where they shut it down, the Houston rodeo. You know what I mean? Everywhere we go, we shut down because of our behavior. All right. The problem is people see some of us act this way and want to associate it with all of us. You know what I mean? But they've always done that too. You know what I mean? It's just gotten ridiculous. Everywhere you look, they are fighting. You know what I'm saying? The fatigue is real about us. It is real. And it's just a goddamn shame that, you know, we just can't go nowhere and know how to act accordingly. You know what I mean? And I've even seen some people try and excuse this behavior. When do we take accountability that we just are feeding into every stereotype there is about us? Every single stereotype we feed right into it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show this clip here where this guy is talking about it. If I'm not mistaken, I think either Beyonce or her mother was selling stuff there, the gumbo or something like that. And let me show this first. Let me show this. Give me 1 second, y'all. Is anybody here? Oh yeah, it's a couple of you. Nobody said anything. What's up to all the peoples here? All right, let's start with this. We're gonna start with this. Okay. Soon as it stops buffering. Oh, good grief.
Why would you go to an event and act like that? You don't have your emotions intact.
Why would you go to an event and act like that? Why is it that all of a sudden, yes, we are going to focus on race? Because when we look across the board at the various things happening in this nation when it comes to giant crowds, giant brawls, it's always defaults to one color of skin. Always. We can have an honest conversation about this without being called a racist, without being called a bigot. All of their parents have failed, and I'm talking about this in another video, highlighting the lack of like family structure in Black communities. But this is what you get. You get a lot of people that don't know how to act. You get a lot of people that do stuff for clout or social media and want to act a fool. Why can't we all just get together and have a good time? And it's crazy because this isn't even isolated to just Houston, Texas. This is Daytona Beach over spring break as well.
Look at that. Look
I'm sorry, I thought this came in my head. It looked like a bunch of roaches.
It does. It looked like a bunch of roaches.
Like someone just took some raid and and they just dispersed. You look across the board. You look in this country, United States of America, and you want to say, what are the recent rules that have changed in a lot of these different cities? Curfews, dress codes, which we'll get into that, the addition of needing chaperones. Every time Black folks get together, there's some rules or new laws that need to be put in place because of our behavior. You want to scream Black Lives Matter. We don't act like our own lives matter. We don't act like a good, upstanding group of people. If you want to group the Black community up together, okay, if you're going to do that, this is how we look. It looks insane.
So I saw the video where the Houston rodeo got shut down. And would you want to take a few guesses to why the Houston rodeo got shut down? I'll give you a few hints, right? It's not actual cowboys and cowgirls.
Nope.
Nick got the Houston rodeo shut down. And you say, John, why do you say that? Go watch the videos. It's the behavior, it's the dresses, it's the lack of accountability, it's the lack of decency, it's a lack of respect for law enforcement. Niggas. It's nothing new. Like, y'all know it, but y'all can't say it. So I'm gonna say it for you.
Yep.
It's got the Houston.
And there's a difference between a Black person and anybody can be a nigga, but it just so happens that a Blacks are niggas. Black people just don't know how to act when they get together. We're always be shooting and everything, this, that, and the third. It's like, for why? Don't know how to act right. They're ruining literally everything in the society. They are. And I'm not just saying that. If a company is willing to say, hey, here's all these new laws we set in place, here's all these new mandates, all these new rules, it's for a reason. They're not just being racist. It's quite literally that they don't know how to act. When I was saying all this,
he's bleeping out niggas, but niggas are being niggas. You know what I mean? Peace and blessings. Black Americans are not. Well, okay. All right. Namaste, Katrina. What's up? Peace, Mooney. How are you? Not all of us, though. Yes, no, it's not all of us. Of course not. A lot of us, and this is why I say I love my audience. I love people who tune into me because y'all are not them. Y'all are not niggas, and y'all have critical thinking skills. And I attribute that to frequencies. You know, see what I'm saying? And just the way that y'all interact with me, know we're on the same frequencies. You know what I mean? And so it does make us all look bad when our children can't even act right. You know what I mean? There was a time where a long time ago, I stayed with my mother and I had to go on the other side of town, Philadelphia. Philadelphia is the 5th largest city in the United States. And so there's public transportation. I didn't have a car at the time. And I had to travel. I had to take a bus. Then I had to take the subway. Then I had to take the L, I think, to get to where I was going. You know what I mean? So as I took the bus out of my mom's neighborhood, number of white children on the bus, right? Number of white children and quiet, nice and quiet. That bus ride was quiet. And they were all in their books. I observed this. I'm a Virgo. I observe everything. I noticed they just quiet. They're in their books. They're on their way to school. It's early in the morning. I'm on my way to work, right? I get to the subway. I have my headphones on and I'm reading, but my music wasn't on. I was just listening. Black kids acting in a fool, acting an ass, bragging about how many subjects they're failing. Just a complete different atmosphere. You see what I'm saying? This was years ago. You know what I mean? So it's not new. It's not. I think it's just being way more exposed. And I think that, with the lack of knowledge, of self-awareness, of history and everything else, the chemtrails, the poison food and water, all of this is attributed. But when are we going to say, this is just us? This is just how Black people act. When are we going to stop making excuses? Oh, the white man is the white man. No, this is how we act. It's getting way more exposure these days because of social media. All right. When I was growing up, these are the kind of parents and grandparents I had. I was scared of my mama.
Can I go in? So what are you doing in the class? In the school? Close that door. What you doing in the school? What are you doing in the school? Why are you snatching that man's phone? Didn't I tell you tell him sorry? Okay, if he call, I'm coming from now on. Your mom's not coming. If I gotta come back to this school, I'm gonna bust your ass. Do you understand me? Yes. So go down to that class and you better have some respect. You respect that man. Do you understand me? You're a child and you do your work. If I gotta come back, Kavion, it's me and you. And you don't want me, do you? So what you gonna do? Okay, they call me one more time. One more. And it's on and popping. I'm gonna bust your ass. Do you understand? Yeah. So go to your class, do your work, and don't give them no more problem. And don't even open your damn mouth. Because if you get smart with this man, I'll be back. You respect your elders. You hear me? You're a child. You stay in a child place. And I'm going to get on your mom when she comes. Get on down in the class. And you better say sorry. And I'm going to call and make sure. Good. Get out. Go apologize.
Anytime, Auntie. Okay. We love it.
This is the kind of parenting I grew up with. You know what I mean? You have respect for your elders. This is the kind of parenting that needs to come back. What's up, Legacy Sigma? Peace. Peace. Exactly. Grandma. We feared our grandparents. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to bust your ass. Them type of pops I am. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Even that term bust your is old school. Yes, it is. Stay in the child's place. Exactly. This is how I grew up. This is exactly. You stay in a child's place. If I walked into the room and my mom had company, I was not to stay in the room. Children are to be seen and not heard. You know what I mean? So, it's just crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, it's sickening, to see what's going on these days, and it's just crazy. Speaking of the Houston rodeo, remember I showed the clip. Shout out to Katrina for showing me that clip of the woman who was she was embarrassed because of how Tina Knowles acted towards her. Check out this one right here.
suffered food poisoning from ingesting the gumbo. And there was one woman in particular yesterday who had told their story, showed their medical records, and they said that it was in fact the gumbo that got her sick. Upon looking at the gumbo, it looks like a health violation. But I mean, hey, y'all wanted some witch's brew, right? In the message from the Houston Health Department, they ended up basically saying that the establishment was closed due to inaccuracy between their permit application and the actual food preparation they were conducting. Also discarded all gumbo on site for the same reason, as well as the food being stored inside unapproved containers, and we could not verify proper cooling methods for pre-cooled batches of gumbo. I was getting on social media, oh my God, I love Mama Tina Gumbo, stop lying on that woman. Now the health department involved. I knew something was up when they said 18 hours was needed to make the gumbo. What kind of gumbo take 18 hours to make? I don't know what kind of Wizards of Waverly Place spell she got y'all under, but it needs to wrap up entirely.
Okay, he's getting on my nerves. So fucking extra. You know, he's getting on my nerves. Peace, D. How are you? Getting on my nerves. You know, all that, you know, oh my God. Shut up. God. Sheesh. Whew. I'm just now seeing your message, Katrina. I have the Serious Mystery. I have that one. That's deep too. I'm going to this now.
That's the devil. Adalabrock came and created 7 planetary archons, R12, which would be the ones in this particular zodiac. So they make this physical body, which is this, but it couldn't stand up. So Newt comes back to recorrect things. She tells Adalabrock to breathe life into the physical body. When he breathed life into the physical body, the little bit of light that he had went into the physical body. When the Archon and Adalabrock realized that the God or the man that they had created was greater than them, they basically tried to destroy them. He said, I am a jealous God, and let it be known I shall have no gods before me.
All right. So, Katrina, I have 2 of those at least. I think I have the Serious Mystery, and I think I have Sophia, and I will send those to you. Okay. That's Gnosticism right there. Okay. If it wasn't for Bobby, would any of us be actually studying Gnosticism? And I told y'all before that Gnosticism is the true Christianity. All right. And they killed all of them off. Okay. You'll find a lot of truth in Gnostic texts, the Gnostic Bible, and there's many other books. And then you have John Wick 3 is a Gnostic tale. Okay. But they took all of that, destroyed it, hid the Nag Hammadi library, okay, did all that, and gave y'all religion. All right. This guy sums it up perfectly. Okay. He sums it up perfectly. As soon as I get there. All right. Sums it up perfectly. Ah, good grief. Where is it? I gotta find it. Give me a second, y'all. There's a clip that I'm trying to locate about how it gives you religion. And of course, I can't find it now. Let's see. I just had it up. Of course, it's gone now. Of course it is. Wow. I cannot find it. Incredible. Wow. It really is gone. That's crazy. It is gone. That is absolutely crazy. Okay, now that's going to bother me until I find it now. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I don't believe this one. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. Ah, here we go. I found it. Religious psychosis is what it's called. Religious psychosis. All right. Found it. Finally. All right. Check this out. Got us in the chokehold.
Psychosis, but we don't talk about it enough. During slavery, our ancestors were powerless. They couldn't vote, they couldn't own anything, they couldn't fight back without being unalive. When people are that powerless, the mind looks for somewhere to place hope. So we were given religion. This is a belief that says, be obedient, suffer quietly, your reward will come later in heaven after you pass away. I understand something. For a person who had no power, believing in God would eventually fix things, might have helped them survive mentally. But the problem is, now in modern times, our people respond to problems the same way. You got bad habits, God gonna fix it. No discipline, God gonna fix it. The devil trying to test me. The demons in spirit jumped into this person and into that person. Every situation turns into prayer or blame on a mythical entity instead of personal responsibility and accountability, right? Listen, believe what you want to believe, right? That's your business. But if your belief system got you waiting instead of working, praying instead of planning, hoping instead of building, then it's not empowering you. It's pacifying you. And at some point, we got to stop saying, God gonna make a way, and start saying, I'm gonna make a way.
And if you say that to a Christian these days, they look at you. I've done it. I've absolutely done it. And they will look at you like you are the most retarded thing they have ever seen. You know what I mean? Because they can't fathom. They really cannot fathom having power. It's all up to him in the sky. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, you know. But I mean, what can you do? You know what I mean? What can you do? So, how do we get out of this mess? Any suggestions? Any suggestions? Those of you, it's so very few people who are awake and aware that, you know, it's a losing battle. It really is. But we all know, because the master teachers taught us, that the masses they do nothing but die. Okay, they do nothing but die. All right. Here's some interesting information from Cosmic Comics. You know, the comic book from Azazel Bay. All right. The mind of God descended into physical reality. This is what Bobby Hemmett teaches from the Gnostic texts, and then descended into mammalian DNA. When Christ consciousness became a part of the human plan, an attack from Draco interrupted their descent. The beings became known as the Atlans, the Atlanteans, and the Draco, the reptilians, became the Lemurians. Mammalian DNA became a prison for physical reality beings. That's why it is depicted as a prison with bars. Depending on the amount of bars a person has, represent the 12 races of alien DNA that was contributed to the creation of man. The Christ consciousness and everything that is said, that I said, is in the future. At Montauk, a portal to simultaneous existence through experimentation was discovered, and these beings wanted to experience physical reality based on human genetics, which became a type of fallen angels, the archons. It was discovered that everything happens at the same time. Okay? The eternal now, but humans are programmed to live in the past. You know this by simply looking up at the stars. Those stars were there a million years ago, but to the human brain, they look like they are still there when you're only seeing the light as it travels to Earth. Deep shit from Cosmic Comics. Okay? Deep shit. All right? It continues. During the civil war that took place on Lyra, many of the Lyrians migrated to different parts of the galaxy, including Earth. Some of them transformed into blonde blue eyes, and some into redhead and green eyes, and many were of dark brown skin with a green hue. This was based on certain enzymes in the genetics that various skills can be operated with. The blondes were very psychic, while in human flesh, the redheads were also very psychic and are controlled by the blondes. Whew. The dark brown, later called the Afro-Atlanteans, and were of a dark side adaptation to Earth. Jeez, whew, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. You know what I mean? Again, when you talk aliens and alien information, people lose interest immediately. All right. I told you about the aliens in the X-Files, in the movie Fire in the Sky, in American Horror Story double feature. It's the second story, which consists of 4 episodes, about the treaty that the aliens made with the government. Remember, I said that I was shocked that they put this on a series, that they put this on TV and allowed y'all to just look at it. Okay. Again, their idea of karma, to avoid the karma, is the revelation of the method. We've said all this before. See what I mean? So, yeah, when you start talking like this is when people tune out. All right? This is when people tune out. Okay? We got another TikTok video. Let's see. Let's go to, let's see. Oh, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. The X-Files was way ahead of its time. You know what I mean? And then, of course, you got the Boule. You got everything in place. You got to hand it to them for their methods. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the Boule, you got the Masons, you got all these organizations that make sure that we are dumbed down and that we don't rise further than what we are right now. Okay? Yes, I said the Masons. I sure did. All right. Shit. Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, was a Mason. Okay. If you have any doubt about what I'm saying, look at the debate from Natural Tahuti and Wesley Muhammad. They did a debate. All right. Natural Tahuti pointed out all of this. Okay. Like I said, it goes deep. into making sure that we stay right where we are. All right. Shouldn't be showing this, but I'm going to today to show you just how deep the shit goes, y'all. Just how deep it goes. Look at this. This is from Cosmic Comics. This is another part of it. This is the Reptilian Pact. Okay? The Reptilian Pact. Don't say I never gave y'all nothing when you see this. Okay? Don't say I never gave you nothing. All right. But check this out. This is from Cosmic Comics. This is part 1. This is volume 1. An illusion, it will be so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We will create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive. Our goal will be accomplished one drop at a time so as to never bring suspicion upon ourselves. This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will work together always and will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so that they will never see what is happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in the food and water, also in the air. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. Okay? The soft metals will cause them to lose their minds. All right? We will promise to find a cure from our many fronts, yet we will feed them more poison, and the poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouth. They will destroy their minds and reproductive systems. All right? That's the Reptilian Pact. Okay? There's more, but I'll end it there. Okay? I'll end it there. All right. Also, I said something about Freemasonry, right? And here's what Bobby Hemming had to say about it. Freemasonry.
How the history of Freemasonry and how, when it was brought to the Europeans by the Moors of Spain, it had an Islamic foundation. Tune in.
We're going to go into the origins of Freemasonry, which we understand that Freemasonry came up out of ancient Kemet and the ancient Egyptian mystery system, or the ancient Kemetic mystery system. You all know that. Cool. What we're going to do is we want to understand how the Europeans start getting into. If you notice, most of the Mason has Islamic structure. If you go down to the Fox Theater, and it also has the Egyptian structure. Well, the Kemetic structure is the origin of it, but the Islamic structure came when the Moors were introduced to Masonry by the Moors, the white people were introduced to Masonry by the Moors of Spain. That's why how you get the Islamic origin of that. And the sciences that they gave to them, because the Moors in Spain, when they ruled for 700 years, understood that their prophecy, that they would fall one day. You understand? By that, they understood that they had to put the Masonry in the European hands and give him something to lift himself up so he won't be that much barbarous to kill. But then again, he did kill a couple of billion of us, so therefore, the Semitic, if he killed a billion of us, if we didn't try to educate him with 16 universities in Spain and even didn't try to educate the Greeks, imagine what he would have been. But remember, he's ruling us on this much of knowledge. And he's doing a damn good job on that much knowledge. Where you get the person that is the archetype of God, is God, and bring him down from the pyramid builders to the project dwellers. With this much knowledge, he did a damn good job. As a matter of fact, we can say that this particular devil is prophesied in the Bible is great. He outweighs the particular devil that you talk about running around with a red fork and pitchfork on. He's greater than that because he is diabolical, because he has wrecked the planet and killed the particular every animal you can think of is in this thing. The people, indigenous people, shot for sports. We got whole races wiped out.
Feel free to comment, like, or share your thoughts.
Wiped out. You know what I'm saying? Destructive. Totally destructive. And, again, people don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear that, especially not Caucasian people. Of course, they don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? But who else has gone around the entire globe I shouldn't say globe, the entire Earth, and has destroyed everything. I just watched The Shape of Water. All right. And it won a lot of awards. And it was a great movie, you know. Um, the story is about an amphibious being, okay? An amphibious being who was captured. And this one white guy, the scientist, so-called scientist, he wants to kill it. That's what he wants to do. All right. Instead of studying it life force, he captures it. Okay. And speaks horribly to it. And this one woman, she's mute. She falls in love with him, has sex with him and everything. I'm just giving a synopsis of it. You know what I'm saying? Now, people may see this movie and say, what kind of bullshit is this? Made up fantasy. But you got to understand, a lot of people think that this is all there is. Okay. They don't think that there's any other life forms that exist on Earth or anywhere else. And so they will be doomed to come right back here and then go through all this hell again. All right. They say that when you elevate yourself and when you rise to a higher spiritual consciousness, you're free to go anywhere in the galaxy. There's other places to go beyond Earth. Okay. Earth is a prison planet. Okay. They leak out all this information. Again, I'm always shocked when I see something like The Shape of Water. It's an excellent, excellent movie. All right. In Cosmic Comics, this was, I think, Azazel Bay's, this was one of his favorites. Okay. Amphibians. Okay. What did the Dogon say? All right. Look at this. The original beings of Neptune and Triton who live under the ice in a completely water world. By the way, that's a movie called Waterworld, starring Kevin Costner. They can shape themselves into any form desired and are impervious to cold. They are luminous and gelatinous. Okay. The water on Earth is billions of years old and contains the memories, thoughts, and other information from your ancestors, your other selves, and incarnated information for you to continue your journey. That is why drinking water is being poisoned on a massive level with numerous toxins, one being Prozac to halt your recall. Here we go. The Dogon, according to the elders, the Nomo, a people from the stars who gave the tribe this information, were a semi-aquatic species of life form that had a tail similar to that of a dolphin. Whew. Now remember, the Dogon said that their information of civilization came from the Nomo, who came from the sea, half man, half fish. All right. According to the Dogon, Sirius A, which is one of the brightest stars in the sky, has a small but heavy star going around it. 20 years ago, astronomers discovered this star, Sirius B, a heavy white dwarf. All right. The Dogons maintained that the small heavy star rotated around the other one every 60 years, a fact later confirmed by scientists. The only clear answer is that the Dogons were contacted by a species from the Sirian system. Okay. According to the legend of the Dogons, a ship descended down and landed on 3 legs. Beings aboard the craft hollowed out areas in the ground, filled them with water, and disembarked into the water themselves. The beings appeared to be a hybrid of a humanoid and a dolphin form. As I said earlier, they came to the shore of the water-filled area and spoke to the Dogons and gave them all this data. The beings were one of several groups of Nomo, some of them remaining on a larger craft which hovered in the atmosphere. Okay. Some of the Nomo, according to those who spoke to them, would be called the disruptors, and one of them would die on the cross. Wow. How this primitive tribe initially interpreted this data remains to be known, but the legends survive, complete with verifiable data. The Dogons also knew about all of the planets of the solar system, all the way out to Pluto, as well as moons that have only just been verified. Bobby Hemmett's very first lecture was on the Dogon, his very first one. Our solar system is rotating around the galaxy in a spiral corkscrew path, and in order to do that, it has to be connected to something. Our solar system is connected energetically to the Sirian system, specifically to Sirius A. This spiraling motion is identical to the DNA spiral. We have a destiny with Sirius because we are tied to it. At certain times, specific alignments with Sirius occur that have a profound effect on consciousness. The dolphins, who have been here 35 million years, have no external technology, yet they can do anything. They are able to communicate with each other anywhere on the planet in a matter of seconds. They're totally self-sufficient. There's a planet near the Sirius system that is almost totally water, with two small land masses about the size of California and Australia. The dolphins move back and forth between Earth and this planet at a rate of about 100,000 per day. They grew ships in order to travel, which is what the Dogons described. Whew. There you go. All of the ancients had communication with extraterrestrial because our ancestors are extraterrestrial, as with our DNA also. Indeed, there are legends and myths that continue on, where we were once able to fly. We were once telepathic. You know what I'm saying? The pyramids, ancient airports. You can. They're said that you can go into one pyramid and you can come out of another one somewhere way across the earth. You know what I mean? All of this information, you have to dig for it, though. You see what I'm saying? We have all this potential. That's why I don't call people, I hesitate when somebody wants to be known as God or any of these other titles, when we are still using, I would say, less than 10% of our brains. Okay. And remember, your brain is nothing but a repository of your mind. The mind is everywhere. All is mind. Remember that. All is mind. Okay. There was a piece, Michael Surratt. How you doing, sir? There was a children's book called When We Could Fly. There's also a book that I think every Black household should have called Black Root Science. Now, I know I may be reiterating stuff I've said before, but for those who have not heard me say it before, there you go. Does gate walking deal with extraterrestrials also? That's an interesting question. Well, interesting question. I don't know quite sure how to answer that. You know what I'm saying? There are deities that you deal with, but that's in the book. Okay. Now, in order to get context on that, you have to understand where these deities come from. Okay. And what's their origins. Let me answer it that way. Okay. Certain deities are millions of years old. So, of course, that energy is great and is dangerous to have to come in contact with. All right. The Babylonian myths, the Akkadian myths, the Assyrians, the Lemurians, Atlanteans, all these ancient civilizations, that's where you're going to find the origins of certain deities. Okay? That makes sense? Did I answer your question? It probably didn't, but that's the best way I can answer that. All right. There's reasons why gate walking is so powerful of a technique. You know what I mean? It's so powerful. Of course, reason I can't give here. I can only answer the way I've answered. All right, I'll give you a hint though. One of these deities is about millions of years old, I think. Pazuzu. Pazuzu has an origin that is very long. Okay? Very. All right. And to see TikTok challenges with stupid shit, calling certain deities into dolls and shit like that, I'm like, y'all playing with forces that just, y'all have no idea. You know what I mean? But again, The only way that you can get information about this is deep research. All right, deep research. Azazel Bey said that his information that came in his comic books, both volumes, comes from a period of 30 years of him studying. 30 years. Okay. Another movie you want to check out is Enemy Mine. All right, Enemy Mine. Interesting. The actor they have to play the alien. That's so interesting. He's a Draco. And I'm talking about Louis Gossett Jr. He's the one who plays the Draco. Okay. This information about men having babies is very important. That's all I say. It's very, very important. All right. It says it in the movie. Okay. This is why I say retaining information is so very important. Detoxing, but vitamins that are essential for mind power and binaural beats. DMAE is one I take on a daily basis. Choline, CHOLINE. Go to cola, something I take on a daily basis that helps with blood flow and circulation. And again, binaural beats. Binaural beats literally helps your brain grow. I shouldn't have to say why that is important. If you add to your brain, you know what I mean? Yes, Mooney, yes. Those beats, those are great. Those are absolutely great. Okay. More from Cosmic Comics. Okay. More from Cosmic Comics. There's so much information in these comic books. So much. You know what I mean? Here we go. Right here. Here we go. Okay. All the major religions are dominated by adoration of a god from the sky. The idea of humans as a slave race is not new. Ancient Sumerian records relate that humanoids acted as intermediaries between the rulers from the sky and the humans. Funny, that still happens. And now, the thing is now, people act as intermediaries between them and the Loa or the Orishas. You see what I mean? I've heard one nigga say that you need correct, I think, I'm trying to say how he said it, but you need certain credentials to speak with these gods, to speak with these deities, to speak with these spirits. He said, again, that you needed certain credentials, certain requirements to speak with the gods, the Loa, the Orishas, the deities, the spirits, Dorapals. This is why I say discernment and why you need to check people's credentials. I use the same word, but you need to check people's information and how knowledgeable they are about the subject that they're presenting to you. Okay? You need to check it. All right. There's one thing I love about Bobby Hemming is because he can cite everything. Same thing with Asir, the Duke of Tears. They can cite everything. They tell you exactly which book they found the information from. C. Freeman L. Same thing. Okay. Azazel Bey. All right. Delbert Blair. Khalid Muhammad. All right. Francis Cress Welsing. Okay. To continue. Cosmic Comics says Sumerian records indicate that human beings were spiritual beings animating physical bodies, and that the alien rulers contrived an original plan to keep entities attached to physical bodies, body physically and psychologically, so that humans could function as slave labor. Population control measures were carried out on the humans. Food supplies were cut off. Humans were forced to cannibalism. Diseases were introduced, and there was global flooding. In order to prevent the humans from banding together and realizing the predicament they were in, the aliens sought to block spiritual recovery for the humans. Various immediate measures were taken in order to prevent human unity. Formal religions were introduced. People were scattered around the planet, and different language functions introduced. Tower of Babel. The aliens made sure that existence for humans became a physical chore that would preclude excess time on their hands. Monotheism was one of the most insidious. Monotheism was one of the most insidious teachings of the Brotherhood. It was started in Egypt during the reign of Akhenaten and eventually evolved into the teachings embodied in Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. Humans were taught that the aliens were gods, and the aliens enforced human obedience. One group of alien custodians was named the Jehovah, who had influence over the Hebrew people. The Hebrews were befriended and ruled by the Jehovah, who typically landed his craft in the mountains. Damn. In order to promote the God concept, only specific humans are allowed to approach the Jehovah, which were presented to the humans as a succession. Doesn't that sound familiar? You know what I mean? That only certain people could approach the gods. Only certain people. This is still going on. Anyone who tells you that you have to go through them to speak with spirits, to communicate with deities, is not your friend. You all have the ability and potential to do so. Yes, that's right, Steve Coakley. Absolutely. Steve Coakley lecture on Du Boulay is a classic. Y'all should all watch that one. I agree. TikTok is dangerous. It is absolutely, and I refuse to go there. I absolutely refuse to go there. Okay. I just bought the Dream Pack from the Meta Center Blair website. Looking forward to it. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. I have a lecture on the Budona. I thought I did. I'm sorry. I thought I did. If I don't, my apologies. Maybe I'll come up with it next time. I do have one about the Disney Illuminati. You know, but again, remember I told y'all I sit on so much information. It's just certain times that I decide to bring it to you. You know what I mean? Crazy. It is absolutely crazy. You know, why I'm always saying things is just deeper than you think. All of this shit is deeper than you think. On the surface level, it's just a bunch of niggas acting like animals, but deep beyond that, it is deep. Okay. We're just at the main center of it. When I say us, of course, I'm talking about copper color people. You know what I mean? Again, you got Guardians and Boulay and Masonic orders making sure that you stay right where you are. You got celebrities making sure that you stay right where you are. You are not supposed to go nowhere besides where you're at right now. Okay. Look at this. Check this out. More from Cosmic Comics. Okay. More from Cosmic Comics. Since you were originally a light being, you were able to visit any planet or moon in any system. Wow. To be able to do that. See, you are Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen. If you look at the Watchmen movie, Dr. Manhattan was the most powerful person in the universe. And he was so sick of humans that he went to Jupiter, one of the sons of Jupiter. Okay. You could actually vacation on any of the 79 moons that Jupiter has. But with physical bodies, you are trapped on Earth inside your DNA mind pattern, which creates your physical structure. All right. Again, you could actually vacation on any of the 79 moons that Jupiter has, but with physical bodies, you are trapped on Earth inside your DNA mind pattern, which creates your physical structure. Look at the Watchmen series with Regina King. Deep shit. Those whose thoughts are earthbound will miss the parole board and re-enter the earth plane again. Those whose thoughts are earthbound will miss the parole board and re-enter the earth plane again. If you look at the model of what we call DNA, it has bars representing protein bases that look like a prison. There are at least 12 known exoplanets that are actually better than the Earth we live on. It appears that this planet is the lowest compared to evolutionary movement, but then again, all humans on this planet is a hybrid, and you know this by the pupils of the eyes, which should be totally black. If you have white in the eyes, you have some calcification or hybridization. Damn. Deep shit. You know what I mean? Just deep shit. Okay. Watchmen. Lost my thought for a second. Watchmen. Regina King. Dr. Manhattan is you at your fullest potential. Okay. Most people cannot fathom that they are able to do the shit that Dr. Manhattan was able to do. They can't fathom this because they've been dumbed down and think that this is it. You're born, you eat, you sleep, you shit, and you die. And that's it. No, there's more to life than this. But they have you so concentrated on money and just having a good time and just shaking your ass and just shit that does not matter to your evolution. See what I'm saying? And they would rather you stay that way. Okay? They would rather you stay that way. I'm looking for something else. Let's see. Give me 1 second. There's so much in cosmic comics, y'all. Give me a second. I'm almost there, I promise. Oh, sorry. Yeah. They got y'all focused on nothing. Keeping your lifespan shorts. Y'all actually think living to be 50 is a great thing when we lived hundreds of years. Okay. Look at this right here. Look at this. I'll just read it. I'll just read it. All right. We will distract them with fornication, external pleasures, and games, so they may never be one with the oneness of it all. What I just say. The mind is all. Their minds will belong to us, and they will do as we say. If they refuse, we shall find ways to implement mind-altering technology into their lives. We will use fear as our weapon. We will establish opposites within. We will own both sides. We will always hide our objective, but carry out our plan. They will perform the labor for us, and we shall prosper from their toil. Our families will never mix with theirs. Our blood must be pure always, for it is the way. We will keep them separated from the oneness by dogma and religion. We will control all aspects of their lives and tell them what to think and how. When a light shall shine among them, we shall extinguish it by ridicule or death, whichever suits us best. We'll continue to prosper from their wars and their deaths. We shall repeat this over and over until our ultimate goal is accomplished. We will continue to make them live in fear and anger through images and sounds. Okay? We will take over their land, resources, and wealth to exercise total control over them. We will deceive them into accepting laws that will steal the little freedom they have. Remember their goal. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Okay? You will own nothing and you will be happy. All right? The name of that movie with Chris Evans, aka Captain America, is The Train, The Moving Train. What's the name of that? God damn it. Snowpiercer. Watch that one. Snowpiercer. Thank you, sir. I was doing those things in the astral during Ramadan. It's true. Just got to focus and tune everything out. This is why I've been trying to push what little audience I have to push evolution, spiritual evolution. You know what I mean? People act like it's not important. It is. It's so important. Why would you want to come back here? Why would you want to repeat all this shit again? Why? I could not fathom. I'm use that word again. I could not fathom reincarnating and going. Not that my whole life has been a miserable hell. Not that. It's just why when there's so much more potential to do other things. Not just Watchmen, but Lovecraft Country. In episode, I think 7 or 9. I think it's episode 7. When Hippolyta in Lovecraft Country, she experiences different lifetimes. Not only that, she comes in contact with an alien being who explains things to her. Again, they put all this shit right out for you to see. Okay? So, I hope y'all had a great spring break. I do. Okay? I really, really do. And I hope that y'all continue your spiritual ascension, for it is so very important. All right? So very important. Walking around now is like Night of the Living Dead because of all the zombies that are out, all the NPCs. Y'all are up against some shit, I promise you. All right? Y'all have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me. It's always a good time when I interact with y'all. You know, stay safe, ascend. I'll see y'all next time. I am the one, the only, the diabolical one, Magick Lacroix. As I greet you in peace as always. Namaste. The divine in me greets and acknowledges the divine in you. Peace, y'all. Thank you so much, Mooney. I appreciate and love you all. Thank you, Katrina, Legacy Sigma, Michael Serret, D, and everybody who came today. Thank you so very much. I will see y'all next time. Peace, y'all. I gotta go.